Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be doing a Play 10 in the Jagdpanzer E100. This is a German Tier 10 Super Heavy, and it's a vehicle that I recently stated I think is the least capable Tier 10 in the game. And some of you agreed, some of you disagreed. We are going to be putting this vehicle's, tests into battle here. And we're going to be doing 10 games to see how much damage and win rate we can perform in the tank. Now, getting damage is not necessarily hard in the Jagdpanzer. The vehicle has 800 damage per shot. And not only that, with tungsten you can do over 900. If you pair that with the somewhat solid armor and not terrible accuracy, the Jag is a fairly dangerous tank. The problem is, it's slow, it has a massive lower plate, and unlike the E100, can't really do much to hide it because you don't have a turret. So there's a lot of weaknesses with the Jag that you're going to run into. Now, this enemy team has a Rhino, an IS-7, and a VZ-55. That's all pretty nasty stuff. And, if you really think about it, why would you ever drive a Jag when you can drive a VZ-55, have a turret, and in 4 seconds deal more damage? It's kind of funny, actually. But 62A overpokes, and just like that, we take a whopping 844 health off of his vehicle. That is why you don't make over-aggressions for no reason. But we can see where most of the enemy team is already, so we are simply going to drive right up, and we are going to push this enemy Oh, never mind. We're going to kill the 62A. Alright, well, let's put on our adrenaline, and let's reload. IS-7's going to shoot me in the lower plate, and I'm going to let him do that because I don't think that was the biggest brain decision from you, bro. We are going to aim in right on his upper plate and get a 950 damage shell. Then we're going to back up. We are going to get tracked, but I don't care. I'm just giving our 57 heavy the shots on him. We're going to reload ourselves, and 3, 2, 1, bonk. There you go, 967. Yeah, we have bled some health. But we've also bled out that enemy IS-7 quite a bit in return. However, you'll notice even with bleeding out that IS-7, if that 57 heavy didn't hit him with half of those shots, we actually probably would have lost that trade, which is kind of crazy. So we're going to aim it on that Rhino. Nice 715 damage shell. That puts us up to 4,000 damage in this battle. At this point, it's obviously going to be a win. There's only a couple tanks left on the enemy team, the Hori being one of them, right in front of me. Hello, Mr. Hori. How are you doing? I'm going to load HE, and, well, we're not able to HE pen you, but you know what? 560 damage is pretty good if you ask me. And that puts us up to quite a solid result for our first game in the Jagdpanzer. I'm going to let our team get the clear. There you go. So, first game not bad. The interesting thing about the Jag is that you have to decide whether you want to try and angle and get a bounce in your track wheel, or if you should just tank the shot frontally. You will notice that game, from the IS-7, I decided for 2 of those shots to just tank it in the lower plate rather than try and angle. And the reason why is because I only have 1 repair kit with the loadout that I have. With only 1 repair kit, there is no reason to use that 1 repair on a track. I just don't want to do it. If there's an autoloader that rolls around the corner or something that I need to repair my track with, yes, I will. But if it's just a single shot from an IS-7, I'm going to try and just tank it because I can literally deal double. An IS-7 does 460, I deal 800. And with tungsten, I deal 900. So it's a big win in damage output for my vehicle to just trade at that point. So we have that same Hovri from last battle. What do we have up against us in terms of heavies? We have a 50B, an E4, a BZ68, and an M5Yo. Some of those tanks are a lot stronger than others. I am most worried about the 50B, as that is obviously... Sorry, nose is a teeny bit sniffy, but it's obviously a really scary tank. We're just gonna head wide here. This should be pretty safe for us. Our 121B has gone alone to the other side of the map. We'll see how he actually does. There, 50B is spotted all the way on the far corner. Same for the BZ68. And I'm gonna move up and try and support our STB. hopefully we can get a big old bonk out here. Let's keep on going. 50B is obviously in a rather predicament. I'm hoping the Stritzvon and the rest of the enemy team moves out of my way, and see ya. There you go. 500 damage shot. What sucks is that my team is definitely a little in my way here, but we're okay. We are okay. Just hoping that the Stritzvon, yep, there you go. Nah, I'm not stopping for you, bro. If you want to get in my way, I'm going to move you out of my way. Alright, let's aim it on the E4, and bonk. We didn't get that much damage out, but I didn't really have a choice, to be entirely honest. I just had to chunk the shell. This is the problem with obviously being a slow tank. You are heavily reliant on what your team does. And in this game, I'm very reliant on what my team does. And the accuracy of the Yag did not fare too much better for me. Easy shot on the T30, dunks right into the dirt. Oh well. Try it again. So far we are at almost very little damage. We're going to aim it on the BZ. Oh boy, 194 damage. You can see the stark contrast between my first game in the Yag and the second game. The first game we had a really easy chunk of damage, super easy battle. This game, we haven't gotten a single shot over 500. I drove and drove and drove every single second I could, and our team just farms every amount of damage. And this is why, as I said, I don't think the Yag is as strong as people say it is. Because it is so reliant on what your team stinking does. And this game, because it's a steamroll, I can't do anything. I literally sit here, and there you go. We get our first actual pen of the game. Now, to be fair, we still deal 2,200 damage, but if I had literally been able to get one normal penning shot this game, I would have done 3k. But that's the problem with these super high alpha tanks, is that all of their damage is based off of 1 or 2 shots. And when your team steamrolls like that, it's very hard to get out a super high damage game, because I was just cleaning up all the leftover HP. Now, yes, I could have YOLO'd, but that's not what smart players do. I played it smart. I really am a little bummed that my shell on the T30 didn't hit, but look at the team. Every single player, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on my team did over 2,000 damage. And when you have a team that does that much damage, it's just going to be incredibly hard to actually get out damage yourself. Versus if I was in a Foch, for example, I could have rushed straight into the front line, and at 3.75 seconds, probably taken off 1,300 health from that 50B. That's the problem with the Yag, is it's so slow that sometimes you play, your team will steamroll the enemy, and you'll get almost no damage. But it's not just that. The other times you play, the enemy team will steamroll yours. Imagine if it was the opposite scale, and that 50B nuked my STB1, and my Stritzvon K got nuked for poking. And now I have 2 teammates which are already either dead or low health, and I've just gotten there. You can imagine how, in a Yag, a tank that has a massive lower plate and a lot of weaknesses, how it's literally the opposite side of the scale, and now you're in a real awkward spot. Now this game, we have a split. We have mediums going to the medium flank, and heavies going to the heavy flank. And I'm going to go with the heavies, and the reason why is very simple. Mediums are fast. We know this. So let's say the medium on their team pushes up aggressive against our leopard, and our leopard one decides, gee, I'm going to run away. Well, I'm in a Yag. I am so reliant on my teammates that I can't leave myself with mobile tanks, because I know that if those mobile tanks decide to ditch, I'm going to be the one who's getting punished for it. So I will go over here in a much safer spot, and maybe I'll chill in this back corner. This isn't a terrible position. People that overpoke you can usually get shells out into. We have the enemy boss Chatillon, which we hit. There you go, 834 damage right off of his tank. That's half of his health, just like that. Again, the damage output of the Yag is quite devastating, and if you are able to actually get a connecting shell out, you will quite easily take off, a big portion of the enemy team's hit points. We have the Object 260, who we are not able to hit just yet. However, we do have a 60 TP, and that is an easy 950 damage shell into his tank. So 2 shots, 1,780 damage dealt. We have our adrenaline cooking as fast as it will go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's definitely going to hit the 60. So already, we've probably dealt quite a substantial amount to the enemy. But we need to pull in the cover now, because obviously I can't put myself in that position. We reload. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and okay, we have a shot. I have the grill covering me as well, but you'll notice that we are getting shot, yep, by the bat chat. And once again, I'm in a Yag, so I literally can't do anything about it. My tank is so slow and so large that literally whatever I do, that bat chat can outspawn me. So I'm stuck here for the rest of the game. My battle is most likely over. Spotted again. We do have that 60 TP in the back, though, and we get the clear into that 60. However, it's not going to matter. Again, this is the exact same situation we had last game. You are at the whim of your team. I am so reliant on my team in this game that it's over. If I was in at least a tank with a turret, I could have maybe gotten another shell out. Now, obviously, this game was a loss no matter what. This team absolutely sucked. Big balls. I mean, our mediums played way too aggressive on the medium flank when it was obvious that our heavies had no brains and were going to the heavy flank. I'm glad that I didn't go to the medium side because I knew if I did, the chances of me living were very slim to none. But we still did deal 3,000 damage, so at least there's that. But do you see how useless the Yag is the moment your team falls apart? This is exactly what I was talking about in the last game. If your team gets steamrolled, your game's over. There's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. I'm lucky that I was able to get some nice shots out, especially that one into the enemy bat chat was a pretty lucky shell. Normally that wouldn't have hit, and if it didn't, I would have only done like 2,500-ish damage this game. But thankfully, I did at least get one shell out, which isn't too bad on that bat chat. So we did 3,400 damage. We basically killed that full health enemy 60 TP, which we can see here, 2,600 damage into his tank, and then we had one shell into the bat chat. So we literally did the best we could that game. Look at our team. 0 damage, 183. Our bat chat did 2 shots, 43% win rate. Our leopard, 47% win rate. Our type 71, 46% win rate. I mean, the whole team sucked. Our IS-7 went to AFK. The game was a loss from the start, but it really sucks for the Yag because you have such bad camo values, you have such bad view range because Wargaming nerfed the view range of tank destroyers that you are fully reliant on what your team does. And that's the thing that I don't like about the Yag. I think that it's too reliant on its team. If you're playing in Platoon, I don't think it's terrible, but I do think that if you're playing solo, it's very tricky to actually to do well in. Also, I just realized I don't have my stats showing. There you go. Now you can see my stats at the top screen, which is pretty nice. We're going to chill here for the beginning of this game. This is a pretty good spot. If anybody decides to poke the mid-ridge, should be able to get a fairly easy shell out. We'll see. The problem is, again, we're in a Yag. We're such a large tank that it's very hard to... there's the Yag for ya. Not only do we miss an easy shell on the Chieftain, but then we get penned ourselves. Isn't that fun? Man, this tank really... Oh, yep, there you go. There it is. There's the Yag. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, I think the Yag is a pretty useless tank, and you're starting to see why. We've already lost 800 health sitting in the back of the map, and we missed an easy shell on a Chieftain who overpoked. Isn't that fun? And of course, we're spotted for 20 seconds by the enemy T-100, so there's nothing I can do about that. So already, not a great start. That's really the best way to describe it. Not a great start. Well, we have the enemy Chieftain, we have the Progetto, and... well, there's the Chieftain. Yep, that was never going to hit. So that's 2 for 2 now. I mean, the Chieftain's not going to pen me, but what am I going to do? That's the question. What am I going to do? And so far, the answer is nothing. I've done literally nothing this game. Let's see. Let's hope that our E6 bounces the minnow, which he does. And let's hope that our E6 backs up. But in reality, he's just going to poke the minnow, probably. Come on, minnow, poke it. Come on. Nope, not going to hit that. I can't do anything. I'm just sitting here and... oh, man, this is... oh, great. I got the T-100 on my flank now. That's really fun. Okay, well, we're going to have to move over here. And... there you go. Ooh, 200 damage. Our first shot of the game. Whoa. Wow, guys. I love the Jagdpanzer so much. It is such a good tank. Truly, the level of damage output that this vehicle features is insane. I think it's actually the best in tier 10. You know, I think you guys are wrong. I think the Yag really is the best tier 10. Look at all this damage I've been able to whip out this game. Because this gun, honestly, just doesn't hit its shots. I mean, that shell on the Chieftain at the beginning should have hit. The fact that it missed is incredibly irritating to me. Because that would have put me in a much better standing right now. Instead of being at like 800 damage, I would have been at 1800. And that's the thing about the Yag, is if you miss one shot, you just miss a lot of damage. So far, we're not doing terrible on our damage output, but well, I can tell you for a fact we personally did not make much of an impact on what happened in this game. We finally do get a shell out. That's our 1400 damage this battle. Whoop-de-doo. Wow, 1400 for the entire game so far. Well, let's reload. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's see. We got the enemy chieftain over here. And aiming. There you go. 729 into his vehicle. Well, we did 2,000 damage, which is better than I expected, but that's about it. Again, the Jagdpanzer, it has some capabilities, but you just feel so limited in what you can do. The 183 will most likely clear the Chieftain, which he does. It's a decent player. I'm not sure why the Chieftain ran instead of trying to get a shot out there. But let's take a look at the post-game results. We are now at 4 games played. We are averaging... I'm interested to see. That was a really unenjoyable battle from start to finish. That game, we did 2,000. So far, we are averaging 3,106 damage for 4 games. We've won 3, lost 1. However, that last game, we had 0 impact on. If our team had sucked in that battle, we would have lost. The only thing I really did that game was I stopped the Chieftain from poking the ridge there, and the T100LT on their team wasn't the brightest bulb either. Instead of flanking, that T100 decided to go to beaches for some reason. If that T100 had flanked, probably could have put a huge impact on our team, especially me, because I wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. But instead, that T100 went back to their beaches, and because of that, I was able to push up quite comfortably, which was surprising. So, here we are on Rockfield. We're getting the full YAG experience here. Sometimes you get a really good game in the YAG, and then most of the time you get the last battle, where your gun misses a lot of easy shots for no reason. The tank feels very unenjoyable throughout the whole game. I don't know. I mean, I'm winning a lot, but it doesn't mean the tank's been entirely fun for me to play so far. Up against us, we have a CS63 Caro, Batchat, 5041. That means 4 of their 7 tanks are mediums. They have a 183, and apart from that, a VK90 and an FE2 and 5B. So basically, their whole lineup is mediums, which really sucks specifically for me, because I'm in a YAG. Well, let's see if we can get a shell into the 5041. That was an incredibly lucky shot. Again, the YAG sometimes hits stupid shots, and that was one. It's just a really goofy tank. So we can see the enemy FE2 and 5B183. We can also see that our team's not doing the best over here. Let's aim it on that enemy's CS. There you go. 750 damage. That's pretty good so far. Not gonna lie, it's pretty good. That's 2 shots, and that's 1,500 damage we've been able to deal. So the VK90's making his way over here. We're gonna reload, and I'm gonna push up and away, but I should be able to get a pretty easy shot right into the VK90. Let's see if we can do that. Let's put on our tungsten and aiming. Boom. That's a lot of damage there. That's a lot. See, now this is the game where the YAG does really well. As I said, it's just completely hit or miss. Sometimes you play the YAG and you get the freest farm you've ever had in your life. And then other times you play the tank and it feels absolutely pain. So we have the Caro aiming. There you go, 792. We do get shot by the CS and everything else. We're just going to angle the vehicle here. There you go. We get a bounce. Nice. And at this point, there's only one tank left on the enemy team I personally care about. That is the enemy FE2 and 5B. Of course, he kills my driver, so that means it's going to be an absolute pain to get over to him. But we're going to try our best and see if we can push this 2 and 5B. I can't afford to get tracked by him, so we need to drive at him at this angle here so he doesn't track me. And now we need to roll around the corner. But, of course, us having a dead freaking driver. There you go. We got it out. I'm surprised. Yeah, obviously running one repair kit has its downsides as well as its upsides. The downside is that, well, if something gets damaged on your vehicle, you aren't going to be able to repair it for quite a bit of time. The upside is that I'm able to use adrenaline and tungsten and get out a lot more damage. So there you go. That was a 5,000 damage game in a very short battle. To be fair, we did get a fire, which was like a 500 damage fire as well. So that did help us. But we had a pretty good battle there overall, and that boosted our average damage up to 3,449. Imagine if the games that we didn't do a lot of damage, our gun actually decided to hit its shots. We would have been at like almost 4,000 average. So far we've played, what, 5 games in the YAG? We actually have won a decent amount, which is a little surprising. That game the YAG did a pretty good job. The first shot on the 54 he won was luck. I don't think anybody's going to sit there and say that I deserved to hit that shot. But the other shells were all based off of aiming and actually the YAG doing its job. So even without the first shot penning, we still would have done around 4,000 damage, which is pretty good, I'm not going to lie. So far, I'm not entirely hating the gameplay we've been having in the YAG. There's only been two really unenjoyable games. We had the one game where it was just a steamroll. That game was really annoying because I could have done a lot of damage, but every time I press the fire button, our team farmed the player out like 0.1 seconds before. And then the other game was the one on Normandy. The loss that I had against the Bat Chat was inevitable. Probably wouldn't have really mattered what tank I was in, so that one's not too disappointing to me, and I still was able to get 3k out. It's actually the games that we've won that have been 2 separate steamrolls that have been really annoying so far. But let's see what we can do. We are on a pretty bad map for the YAG, this one being Vineyards. Vineyards is a terrible map, honestly, because we're so reliant on where our team goes, where the enemy team goes, and everything else like that. Because the YAG is a huge tank, as we know. And being in a huge tank has some downsides. The biggest one is that, well, I'm very easily spotted on this map. I'm hoping that we can cross up this fast enough because that enemy Yo, we weren't able to get there fast enough. I'm so sad. If we'd been able to shoot that Yo, I would have been really, really happy. Alright, well, let's see. We have the E100. We have the WZ off to the side. We have the Caro. I don't know if they're going to try and send our Sheridan. Well, I guess they don't need to because he's dead. That sucks, because now we got the Caro on our flank, and there's nothing I can do about that. Alright, well, our Patton is doing a great job blocking me, which means I don't get that shell out, and now our... Wow. Well, thankfully, our team does move, and we are able to get the shell out, but man, being in a turretless tank and having your teammates in front of you can be a bit disappointing, because obviously you are very reliant on where your team positions. Okay. Well, that guy's obviously a goner. We have the WZ on the side. We have the 100 in front. And... oh, please, please stop blocking me, bro. Alright, there you go. 926 in the enemy 100. That's obviously a really, really nasty bleed. Not bad at all so far. Hori bounces the... wow, great shot from the Hori there. And now you're going to back in front of me again and die. Right in front of the shot that I had on the E100. Thank you. Well, we still got another nice shot into that E100, bringing him down quite a substantial amount of health. That's obviously pretty good. However, now we are being shot in the side by tank destroyers. And, of course, because our team is completely failing at killing that E100, this is really hurting me most. So, we're going to reposition, and we're going to move up over here, and then pray that our team does something about that E100. Let's see. IS-7's moving up. There's the Caro. Okay. There's the enemy T-30. There's the Waffle. Aiming, aiming. There you go. 1,300 damage into the enemy Waffle, bringing that player down quite a level. That's where the YAG feels nice. When the gun works, this thing really hits hard. So we're going to reload again, and we're going to chill right in this bush, and we're going to see if something tries to cross this. It would not surprise me if something did. So we're just going to wait right here. And there you go. Enemy Caro does try to cross, and we get a nice shot out. So far, we're at a pretty good amount of damage. 4,600. But the problem is, our team's not doing a very good job. And that's not very helpful, at least to me. We're going to reload, and let's see if that Caro decides to poke it again. We have a pretty good position here. If that Caro pokes either one of these angles, we should have a pretty free shot. Oh. Can't pen a T-30 hatch, I guess, ladies and gents, because that makes sense. I mean, I'm not worried, because we are on a hill, so I can just back off the hill, and that T-30 is not going to be able to hit me. He also gets shot by the Moishin, but he does hit the motion back, which is not entirely good, at least if you ask me. There you go. 706 shell right into the T-30 turret. That puts us up to 5,000 damage. And now our Patton gets a nice shell into his side, bringing him down to a one-shot. That's all pretty good. The Karo is alive. However, our Patton is dead. So that sucks. Okay, I'm going to move up this hill and hope that if I get up fast enough, we can get into a position to stop the enemy from poking. I think that's really the best play to make here. Oh, there's the enemy T-30, and T-30 does get a shell into me, but the game's over. Again, being in a Yag, you're too slow. I mean, I did a good job this game. To be honest, again, not my fault that we lost, but the Yag just can't carry these late games. I've talked about it in the past. The Yag gets out damage easily. Like 5,656 damage is quite a lot. And again, Sheridan, our Sheridan 42% win rate, killed himself right at the beginning of the game, and because of that we end up losing because of that player. But what am I supposed to do to counter that? That's the question you have to ask yourself. I hit most of the shots I fired that game. I messed up one single shell on the T-30. Every other shot I hit. And the shot on the T-30 was more just a hope that we would be able to hatch him, because I didn't bleed any health for that, so it wasn't really a bad trade or anything. So that game, I did as much as I could, and we lost. And that's just how the Yag feels. It's just you put in all this effort, you get all this damage out, and then your team still somehow loses. It's really, really sad. Now this game, the enemy team has 3 tank destroyers, which is obviously quite a lot. They only have 1 medium, though, a T-22. So it's going to be quite likely that the enemy T-22 does not go up the hill. I would at least think that. So we are going to make our way right here. And, yep, give me some room. Okay, and we're going to back up here. All right. This should be a pretty safe spot to chill in our Yag. We can see the enemy 113. And, well, we wait. This is Yag gameplay, on this map at least. It's a lot of waiting. Now, our team's not really doing a good job of spotting the enemy so far. There's a Kron. We got the 4 in the back. We can see that there's a 183 and a Foch flanking. That's not very good. How did our Bat Chat get up the hill and then die? That's pretty impressive, that you win the hill and then still proceed to die. I'm not going to be able to hit that Foch. There's just no way. Well, as of right now, this is a very bad game for doing anything. Well, I'm not sure at all what to do in this battle. I mean, we have the 183 covering the other side, so at least we have that. But not a great start for our team, I'll tell you that. Oh, we got the Kron poking, aiming. There you go. 700 damage shell into you. And now I need to... Oh, great. There's a T-22 on my flank. How fun. Why is there a T-22 on my flat side? I can't tell you. But there is. How fun. Whoa. Aiming. There you go. 888 into the enemy 113. That's 1,600 damage dealt. But again, look at our team, bro. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Look at our team. Like, I'm stuck here. I'm 100% screwed. The only thing I can do is hide my tank. But, of course, my hatch is so freaking big that I can't even really hide it reliably. Oh, great. There's the 183 shooting me. How exciting. Well, we get a nice pen into the 113, and obviously my game is Jover. But at least I got a decent pen out before it ended, right? That's all I could do. The E4 bounces me, so there's that. They also have the 183 in the back, which I can't literally do anything about. Aiming. Nope, can't hit that. How fun. Again, we got the 50B above me, and average Yag battle. I'm going to pretend like I have a shell, but he doesn't apparently care. And he's probably going to pen me with one of these. Oh, no, he didn't pen me at that one. Come on, reload. There you go. Wow, I got really lucky that that player sucks. And I got lucky the 183 bounced me. The fact I'm not dead is a miracle, to be entirely honest. Angle. I'm probably not going to be able to bounce this one now. Again, This is what I mean. Like, you drive the Yag, and just when your team sucks, it's over. I mean, we lost mid-hill immediately. I've got just sucking all around, bruh. And this is it. This is why the Ag isn't that good of a tank. I'm sorry, but if you're gonna climb into the comments and say that I'm making bad plays, then go ahead. But so far, I'm averaging 3,800 damage. How much more do you want me to average and still win these games? Like, do I need to average 5,000 damage to do well in the Ag? Is that what we're doing here, bruh? I don't know what to say. The game was a loss from the start. The T-22 was all the way in our spawn. The bat chat threw the game, essentially. I don't know how you get up Mines Hill and then die to a 50B. Like, who wasn't even on the hill? I did 3,500 damage. Again, it's not like I'm struggling to get out damage. You just can't win in this tank when you're so freaking large that you get yourself stuck wherever you go. Again, there's my bat chat, 0 damage, 47%. It's just every time you have a bad light or a medium, you lose the game. So now we're at 7 games, 57% win rate. If I win the next 3 battles, at best we can hope for 70%. If I lose another, we're going to be looking at 60%. If I lose another, we're going to be looking at 50%. I mean, this is just the problem I have with the Yag. And it's why I personally think it's the worst tier 10 in the game. Because sure, while the gun does work pretty well, even in that tragic defeat that my team had there, we were still able to get 3,400, albeit a little lucky that the enemy 50B absolutely sucked. But I was able to get out a decent amount of damage. That wasn't the problem. The problem was the fact that my team just fell apart immediately. I mean, I had a T-22 on my side, I had all the tanks poking mid, and then I also had a 183 and an E4 shooting me. I don't even know how, but apparently every single player on the enemy team only had shots on me that game. And we still managed to get out 3,400. I did put myself in a bad spot, but that was not the reason we lost, especially when I did top on the team for, what, like the 5th game now? So, here we go. Up against us, we have a Mouse, a Rhino, a Minnow. They got a lot of heavily armored vehicles. We have a Chieftain, a Yag Tiger. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. I think I've got a couple options of where I want to position my tank. And judging that my team isn't doing the best job on where they want to drive. Oh, well, we can see the Minnow, actually, and the E3 spotted. Interesting. They haven't even crossed. Oh, there goes the Minnow crossing now. Unfortunately, I'm not fast enough to get there. But maybe I can hit that E3 if he tries to cross. Well, maybe not. The E3 is probably going to be dead before I get there. Oh, wait. I don't think he's going to go for it. There's no way. Wait, nah. We are spotted from what? I don't know. And we're shot at. I can tell you what it is. That bush there, that's 100% what spotted me. Well, we get a nice shot into the enemy Mouse, and we light him on fire in the process. That's 800 damage. That's pretty good. Not a bad start at all for our game. I mean, I'm the only person here, so... Let's reload. And the Mouse obviously doesn't want to poke me. Let's see, is the 54 over here still? Nope, 54 is somewhat leaving. I'd love to be able to hit the 54, but the current position I'm in makes that obviously very, very challenging. Aiming. And I don't think that 54 is going to allow us to get that off. There's the Conway. 54 is running. Oh, we got the Mouse right in front. I didn't mean to activate our adrenaline, but you know what? That works. 1,300 damage, 1,400 damage into that enemy Mouse. Obviously, that Mouse is not the sharpest player. But I will take it. We're getting out damage ourselves. Kind of hoping that this Conway shows us his side, which he does, and then I can activate Tungsten and get a 937 damage shell out. So far, we've done decent in this game, but now we're in the same result as we were in the last game. It's a steamroll, and I have to try as quickly as I can to get into the front line to get any damage out. Hopefully this... Oh my god, move out of my way! Move... Holy freaking dumb, bro. Holy dumb. Like, is it that hard to give your teammate 1 inch of room? Alright, let's see. That Rhino was back here. I need 1 pen to be happy this battle. There's the Rhino. So, let's aim it on his tank, and... Whoa! I'm so happy. I am so incredibly... Yep. Drive into me more. Hmm. Alright, let's aim in on the Rhino. 3, 2, 1. There you go. We got it out. I'm happy. I am actually happy. Oh, man. That shot that hit the E3 got me real sad. But we brought it back. We did bring it back. Actually, our whole team's bouncing this guy. But, nah, the 50B is going to hit him. Yeah! Never mind, we didn't get the shell out. I thought we did. With the fire on the mouse, actually 2 fires on the mouse, paired with 3,400 damage just from petting our shots, we probably did around 3,800 that game, but we'll have to take a look. And 4,000, actually. I'm surprised. That's why I really wanted to get one more pen out there. Again, it would have been 3,200, but with one extra pen, it brings you up to 4,000. It shows you just how much damage the Yag is based off of. So, we're at 62% with 3,800 average damage from the games played so far. We got 2 left to go, and we'll see if we can keep this average damage up. When I actually try at this game, I can obviously do a lot better than whenever I'm, just normally chilling and doing a recording, because the Play 10 series is more focused off of really me trying to do my best to showcase how well this tank can play in 10 games. And the Yag has been doing a pretty good job, but again, I don't think I have carried any battle. Most of these games would have been wins, whether I did what I did or not. There has not been a single game that I have actually felt like I've put a huge impact into. I may have farmed a lot, but I don't think I've actually put in a carrying result. So this battle, our 57 heavy, oh, and K91, great. The enemy team has 4 heavies, they have 1 medium, but you know what we're going to do, guys? We're going to drive our heavies over to the medium flank for no reason, literally no reason whatsoever. Oh my god, bruh. Oh my god. Why do we do this? Alright, well, we got the boss shotzion. Turn. Nope. Not fast enough to hit that. Oh well. Welcome to the life of a super heavy. Wow, what a surprise that the entire enemy team went over to this side of the map. Whoa. Well, we have tungsten, and I have a feeling the enemy will cross to shoot at these players, so when they do, we should be able to get out some decent damage. The 100 is the first player on my radar, and there you go, a 903 shot. You know what really sucks? I'm going to be the one that dies, because I'm too slow to make my way through these positions here. So we'll see what happens. We got 5 seconds left on our reload. 4, 3, 2, 1, and we have a shot. There you go, 948 into the enemy E100. But look at what's happening here. Because I'm too slow, I'm going to be the one that gets pushed next. So the only way that I live this is if that boss shotzion gets shot, which I'm praying that he does. That's all I can really do is pray. Well, we got the E75. There you go, 907. But again, this bat chat, here he comes. Here he comes. Now, the only good news is that if I chill here, I'm in a pretty good position because... Ooh, yeah, what are you going to do now, bat chat? What are you going to do now? You're going to run. Yeah, that's what I thought, you freaking goober. Oh, that was a bad shot for me. I will admit that. I just needed to scare that bat chat away. That's what I needed to do. And that's exactly what we did. So, I'll take it. We have the boss shotzion rushing our 57 heavy. And, aiming. Come on. Yes! That's huge. Goodbye, bat chat. You will not be missed. Alright. With the boss shotzion taken out of the game, we actually did a pretty solid job in this battle. All that's left is the E75 in front of me, who we're going to push. And here we go. Put on our tungsten. Bonk. 934. And now I'm going to ignore the E75. I don't really want to waste my time on this guy. Bruh. I want to shoot the AMX. I don't care about you. I really don't. Alright, let's aim it on the AMX, and... There you go, 914 into his tank. We angle it, and I doubt the E70... Really? He pens that? Wow. Welcome to the Yag. Alright, well, again, we're trying our best here. We're chilling, we're angling, and I'm going to shoot the AMX if I can, because that is a bigger threat. So there you go, AMX is shot. The C75 is just overmatching our engine deck. Wow. Yeah, the Yag armor is so good, guys, that a tier 9 heavy can pen me every single shot that he fires without struggling whatsoever. Isn't that fun? I'm even running enhanced armor, but I think he was penning me in the engine deck. To be fair, we had a good result. 5,700 damage is a really good game. We were able to hold, and I put myself in a spot where I knew if the enemy heavies had pushed, it would be very hard for them to kill me. And I also put myself in a spot where if that bat chat tried to get over the rails, I was on the red line, so it wouldn't be able to get behind me. So I positioned myself as good as I could there. But it is pretty funny that the enemy E75, who's 46% penned every single shell on us and did not bounce once. Again, a great example of the Yak Panzer. So we're at 9 games, 66% win rate, and 4,016 damage dealt. As much as I want, to sit here and complain, the Yag has done a pretty good job today. But the problems with the vehicle, I'm being honest here, the problems with the tank are the fact that it just can't carry. It's too slow. It doesn't have a turret, and it has no mobility. And I've gotten kind of lucky with some of these games here, but the games where your team sucks are the games where you lose. Now, that last game, I will be honest, we did kind of carry. 5,700 damage in such a short amount of time. Doing what we did gave our team a huge advantage. We stopped the enemy from being able to play aggressive. We nuked the enemy when they made mistakes. However, the games that we've lost were 100% unavoidable because of the tank we were driving. We were too slow, too immobile to make a difference in that battle. And that's the problem that I have with the Yag. Now, this game, we have 3 pretty solid players, and I'm going to make my way up the hill. Never mind, we have nobody going up the hill, so I lied. I have to make my way all the way around. Okay, well, that sucks, because obviously the Yag is not a fast tank. Well, our 50Bs is now going up the hill. It's too late, bro. You had your chance to go up the hill, and I would have supported you, but I'm not going to support you now that it's too late. So I'm going to make my way towards the medium flank. Looks like our E50 and M6O are going to look at the crossing. It's not a terrible idea, but I know that my tank's too slow, so I'm just going to make my way over here. I'm going to use that mobility that I do somewhat have and try and get across as quickly as possible. All right, we have the Kron, and unfortunately, our WZ shoots the Kron because he pushes him off the hill, which stops me from being able to hit him. That really sucks. All right, well, we have the E50, and kind of hoping that the 50 overpokes. So we have the 60 TP as well. Not able to hit that. Yeah, more Yag gameplay here, ladies and gents. Average Yag experience. I'm really hoping that that E50 overpokes and we're able to hit him, but looks like that's not the case as of yet. We do have the 60 off to the flank. We have the Kron, and there you go. 840 damage into you. Obviously taking that player down a huge chunk of his effectiveness. But our Rhino's not doing too well. And when I say not too well, I mean bro's getting absolutely demolished here. Let's see, E50 over poke, so we get a 786 damage shell into him. We have to hold this, though, to the best of my abilities, because that Ponda guy's already dead. Oh, that sucks. Okay, well, let's reload, and they're probably going to make their way up the hill. We do have the E6 holding the hill, which is something at least. But, oh man, this is not very good. Yep, there goes that player. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Aiming. Not able to hit that. We have the E4 on the flank, and we're going to activate our tungsten. Bonk. 939. And we move up. Okay. Well, the only thing that I can pray was that my Yo would support me with this E4. Unfortunately, he's not going to do that. But we get a bounce at least. A 630 bounce, meaning that the 60 TP did not pen his shot. And we load a gold shell, just to guarantee the pen. Okay, well, obviously this will be a loss, because my team biggest suckus. Well, we get a bounce from the 60 again, at least, which is pretty nice. But, yeah, this is not very good. The 60 TP alone puts me in a pretty awful position, which I really can't do anything about. We have the 777. We have basically everything right now. There's not much I can do about that. I'm just going to chill here and kind of wait. Oh, we get penned by you. I'm just going to chill. Oh. Bruh. Yep, there you go. There's the Yag. Again, I'm too large. And this is the game that we end on because I've got a camping Yo who's full health and 50B who's been in our spawn the entire game. What have you done for the team? I don't know. You even have a top 4 camo, but evidently you didn't do much to help us. Yeah. There was nothing I was going to be able to do. And I like how Hawkeye, this guy in the Yo says 2 rigged games after you spawn camped in a full health heavy. Did literally nothing for the team, supported nobody. Yeah, great job, bro. Truly incredible. Love teammates. Either way, this game was never going to be a win. There was nothing I would have physically been able to do. I was hoping I could get one more shot out this game, but as we saw, I didn't have the opportunity. The 777 and IS-7 double teamed me, and I sat there and died. I did deal 3,000 damage, which is somewhat surprising, to be entirely honest. I had a Void player who is not very good. I had a Rhino who is not very good, and an AMX-50B who had a top 4 camo and did third worst on the team. It's pretty impressive how that unfolded the way it did. I did all right. As I said, I did the best I could. So far, or overall, I played in total 10 battles, averaged 3,900 damage, which is a lot of damage, but only went 60% win rate. And that's the Yag. It's the exact problem I have with this tank. My average win rate in tier 10 for heavies is around 75%. My press account has a 73% average win rate. And the reason why it's not 75 to 80% win rate is because of vehicles like this. On my press account, I have a total of 60 battles playing the Yag at a 63% win rate. And it's the reasons you're seeing here. The Yag is a good tank. It does a lot of damage, but it can't carry. Every single game that I lost, I had zero impact on whatsoever. And you could make the argument that I probably would have lost those games in a heavy or a medium, but you don't know that because there's 2 reasons. First of all, if I'm in a heavy or a medium, I'm swapping one of my terrible heavy or medium players off, putting somebody that's slow in the tank destroyer. So that's 2 things that are different. First of all, usually tank destroyers aren't the first to die, especially if they're in like a Yag or something. So if there's somebody else in the Yag and I'm in a Rhino, and I don't YOLO into the open and kill myself in the Rhino like my Ponda guy did there, I would have been able to do fine and probably hold and do a lot better for my team. And that's the problem, is that you aren't the frontline player in the Yag. You aren't the player dealing the shots and dishing out the damage. On the games that I was able to dish out the damage, like that game on Desert Sands, the tank feels great. But on a game where we're on Castilla, which is one of the worst maps for a super heavy, and I get the bad spawn on Castilla, and the enemy team gets really solid players who know how to work the hill, and I get players who YOLO out in the open and die, a 50B and Yo who camp and spawn and deal terrible amounts of damage, what am I going to do? Nothing. That's the problem. So, I like the Yag. I think it's a fun tank to play, but I think it's also one of the worst tanks in the game if you want to win it. Maybe if you're an average player, you do well in it, but I can tell you as an experienced player, someone who averages close to 4,000 damage, I think I know a thing or two about this tank. And it just doesn't do what I want it to. If it had 2,500 health, I think it would be really, really good, because then it would play like a heavy, but it doesn't. So you have less health than heavies, but you also have less armor than most heavies because of the way the size of it is. You have terrible camo. It's a tank destroyer without the camo values of a TD. It's a heavy without the hit points of a heavy. So you're stuck in this kind of intermediate area there. Like, I could drive, for example, a Foch 155, and in 3.75 seconds, the Foch 155 is able to deal about 1,300 damage with tungsten. So I can drive a Yag and deal 900, or I can drive a Foch, have more mobility, arguably much better frontal protection. I can have better reverse speed by quite a lot. I can have tungsten. I can have super speed boost. Yeah, I don't know, man, but I do think the Yag needs some sort of buff, and if it got that buff, I would actually really enjoy the tank. But right now, it's in a mediocre spot. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Yag Panzer. If you'd like to see more play 10s, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!